Hello, this is Zombaby again, and again, this is not really all that scripted. I'm sorry for the lack of lighting, but I wanted to get into the breakup and how that happened. I don't have any proof on his side other than a couple of messages over Facebook. But I'll get into that later. Okay, so this is editing me. I didn't get into the Facebook messages in my original vid, so here it is right here, right now. He says, first, an apology because I've encountered someone who was legit like me, so I'm sorry, like, holy fuck. But this dude is on another level. And I'm like, well, no, the same dude you said was like you, after a minute, because some of this conversation isn't relevant and it actually has something to do with someone else. And so I'm not about to put their information on blast. So it's a little cut up. Sorry about that. And he said, well, yeah, they'll take me, rev me up to 12, make me stupid and disgusting and spiteful. I'm spiteful, but not towards you. Okay, to explain, I saw similarities in traits I had during the later time of the relationship. Mine not as bad, but still bad enough. Shit you didn't deserve. Toxic traits. And I said, okay. And he says, so I'm sorry. What? And I just said, okay, what do you mean what? I don't expect you to accept it, just thought it was deserved. You added ellipses I don't understand is all. Regardless, I'll leave you be. Just wanted to state that and ask advice due to you having more knowledge than me. Have a good night and thanks. So this is him absolutely 100% admitting that he has toxic traits, admitting that I didn't deserve some of the things that happened to me. Just so you know, there it is. Back to the video. Right now, I do have messages that I had whenever it was happening in real time with a friend of mine. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through those and give you my experience in the breakup and why I didn't feel safe or comfortable within my home. So at the beginning, it's that I put here, I don't want to hurt him and I still care. I wish that I could just be happy with where we're at and still be with him, but it's just not realistic. He's still holding out hope and wanting to try, but damn, just make it a clean cut. And my friend, who I will not get into who this friend is, and I don't want to have them known they have asked to become anonymous, and I'm going to respect that. But they said it's not your job to fall into keeping him around and to not hurt his feelings. And a relationship is a relationship. It's a two-way street. And if he isn't making the cut, you're going to have to, which sucks, but that's the only way out to keep it from being messy. And I said, and if he wanted to be better, he'd have been better earlier. The thing about it is that it got messy anyway. It didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter how I tried to distance myself. He continued to push boundaries. He continued to try and make it to where I was guilt tripped and things of that nature. So it doesn't matter whether or not I wanted it to be messy or not. It was going to happen. I said he wants to try, and he's going to try, but I'm pretty done. And my friend said, you've been with him for a decade. You can't spend another decade with somebody who, oh no, it's cut off. Oh no. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I was with him for a decade. I couldn't spend another decade trying to figure it out. I just couldn't. And I'm trying to get to a spot where I remember what happened. I did say that I was thinking about leaving. And I said we're on the lease together, and we need to get us each a car. So I couldn't just up and leave, but I felt like he was gonna fight me on it, to not leave. He was gonna fight me on continuing to stay with him. I said, my friend said, you two are not married, so it doesn't have any legal hold on you. And I said, keeping me seems to be the top of his priority list. And then there was something that happened that he called me about while I was at work. And it was about him finding my personal conversations on my personal computer in my office, which he had no business being in. And I said, so Red happened upon our convo last night because my computer was on, and the excuse he gave me was that he was getting his cat out of my office, which I kept my office door closed, so I don't understand why his cat would be in my office in the first place. And my friend asked what he said, and I quoted, I need to know the truth because you seem to know what's wrong. He was very upset that I was shit-talking. I told him his biggest flaw is I see because he demanded it. We're on a break now, and we're supposed to be working on our friendship first. And my friend said to me that break sounds like an excuse to buy time. And I said, working on strengthening a friendship is better than him trying to get me back. And my friend said, not if his end goal is to try and get you back after things settle. I said, while I agree, I also understand that we need to keep up appearances and ease in the online community he's procured about the situation, because I was very empathetic to the fact that he had an online community and that he, it was something that would be very shocking to his community to hear after we've been together for so long. And so I didn't want to, I didn't want to shock them as much in that way. I can't find the breakup video now. I actually can't find quite a few videos on his channel. I went back for the breakup video, and a couple of others, and it seems like he has either deleted them or he's privated them. I can't find it. And so I'm not really quite sure why. But that's why. I remember him saying on the breakup channel that it was mutual. The breakup was mutual. It was not. I remember him saying that it was something that we had both come to an agreement to. It was not. Whenever I broke up with him, he yelled at me. He actively yelled at me, and fully knowing that yelling is a trigger of mine, fully knowing that yelling could break me down. So no, it was not mutual. No, it was not a consensus that we had come to together. And I said, getting back on this topic, I'm sorry, I digress. I said, well, I agree. I also understand we need to keep up appearances. And he's not even sure he wants to be in a relationship after my shit talking. So does he want to be with me? Yes. Does he think it's a good idea? He doesn't know. His words. And so I doubled down on the bed situation, though. So the bed situation was he wanted to continue to share a bed. And I said I didn't want to do that. And so what had happened is my roommate actually brought in a cot, which I slept on. I slept on a cot because I didn't want to sleep in the same bed as him, But he tried to double down on that situation and continued to make me, or continued to try and make me, or continued to guilt trip me into staying in the bed with him. And after that, here it is. It's like, I'm walking on eggshells. I don't want to deal with another blow up. When I broke up with him, he yelled at me. You know how much that fucks me up. I don't want to deal with it again, but I also don't want to baby his fucking ego. So the thing about it is that after the breakup, after he yelled, I started getting really, really worried that something like that would happen again. He might yell at me again. He might cause a scene. I was very afraid of conflict. And my friend made a very good point. They said, I mean, yelling is meant to shake a person up. It's a tactic used to shut a person down. And I said, I feel so free, but at the same time trapped as fuck. I'm trying to keep a level head, but goddamn. I can't take the uncertainty of how he's going to react to anything. Because over and over and over again, he says, I'm a bad guy. Over and over and over again, he says, I can hurt people. Over and over and over again, he boasts about how he knows martial arts. I didn't know how far he was going to take this. Therefore, I was scared in my own home. I was scared. I was uncomfortable. I was walking on eggshells. If it gets any worse, I'm going to fucking leave. I'm not going to deal with the temper tantrums. I might get him to leave if I fight it enough, but to be honest, it would be a long knockdown drag out. So absolutely. If he didn't leave, I would. And that was the end of it. That's what I was about, is like, if he doesn't leave, I will. And so, because I was that scared, I was that upset. And what I really want to get into is the moment he made me have a panic attack. And this is the worst of it. I was getting super uncomfortable with Red in my office. What had happened is he was standing between me, and this is a very, very small office. It's almost like a shoebox. He was standing in between me and the only door. He was standing right behind my chair, and he wanted to continue to talk to me. And I said I was getting super uncomfortable with Red in my office. I tell him, I just want to be alone right now. And he goes straight over my head like I didn't even fucking... Oh, no. And it goes straight over his head like I didn't even fucking talk. And he's standing between me and my one exit like, I'm glad my roommate came in because goddamn I was about to break. So now my cot's in my office and my door is locked. I'm dying. So what happened there is my roommate came into my office and I gave her a look like, don't leave me here alone. And I remember him saying, oh, I wouldn't want to be on the other end of that look. That look wasn't a look that was that had any animosity towards it. That look was a look of fear. That look was a look of do not leave me alone. And as soon as the cot came in, my roommate helped me put the cot in the office, and Red tried to come back in, and my roommate refused to let him because between the time Red left my office and the cot came in, I had a panic attack. I dropped to my knees in front of my roommate and I begged her to help me. I couldn't deal with it at all. And I said it actually was like a drive home of how much he actually respects me. And my friend said that's disrespecting and invalidating your needs and wants. I get into what happened to AWA last October, which was in 2022, I believe. It was in 2022. But yes. I get into that. And at the end of the day, I don't do this for my own personal gain. I do this for the safety of others. I do this to let people know that he's not as good as people think he is. To quote somebody, Maya Angelou, I believe, when people tell you who they are, believe them. He says he's a bad guy, and he is.